Things are bad when the President of the United States is telling his own party to play the Trump card. And now, that's not a metaphor, that's literally what Donald Trump said, as he called on Republicans to nuke one of the oldest rules in American democracy, the Senate filibuster, to end the government shutdown that's already starving millions. That's right, the government has been shut down for 30 days. Millions are losing food aid, federal workers are missing paychecks, and Trump's solution: blow up a Senate rule that's been protecting minority voices for over a century. This isn't just another Trump outburst. This is about a man trying to rewrite the rules of American power again. Let's start with what's happening right now. The US government has been shut down since October 1st. No budget, no funding. 40 million people are about to lose food assistance through SNAP. Airports are running on fumes. Air traffic controllers and TSA staff are working without pay. This is what happens when Washington gridlock meets human lives. And amid this chaos, Trump is telling Republicans, forget compromise, forget democracy, let's use the nuclear option. Yes, nuclear option. That's not a dramatic word. That's what they actually call it in Congress. It means scrapping the filibuster, the Senate rule that requires 60 votes, not 51, to pass major legislation. Without it, Republicans could ram through a spending bill on party lines. No Democrats, no negotiation, no middle ground. So, what's the big deal? Why is everyone losing their minds over a filibuster? The filibuster is basically Congress's speed bump. It's what forces the majority party to build consensus, to get at least a few members from the other side on board before passing a law. It's not in the Constitution. It's a Senate tradition, but it's one that's lasted for generations because it prevents absolute one-party rule. Without it, whichever party is in power could push anything through, from banning abortion to rewriting election laws with a simple majority. So when Trump says get rid of it now, he's not just talking about reopening the government, he's talking about removing one of the lost guardrails of American democracy. Now, here's the real question. Why is Trump doing this now? Because this shutdown, like most shutdowns, isn't just about money. It's about leverage. Democrats are refusing to support a Republican stopgap bill unless it includes extended health care subsidies for low-income Americans. Republicans, on the other hand, are saying, no, we are not negotiating with hostages. So the entire federal government is basically being held hostage. And Trump is saying, forget negotiation, use the nuclear button. This isn't governance. This is brinkmanship with human lives. Now, before we all start pointing fingers, this isn't just a Trump or Republican problem. Both parties have flirted with the idea of ending the filibuster before. During the Biden administration, Democrats wanted to scrap it to protect abortion rights and voting access after Roe v. Wade was overturned. But they couldn't get enough votes in their own party because some Democrats, like Joe Manchin, knew exactly what's at stake. Once you break that rule, you can't put the pieces back together when the other side wins power again, because they will. And that's what makes this so fascinating. Even though Trump is yelling nuclear option on Truth Social, Republican Senate leaders like John Thune are saying no thanks. Why? Because they know one day the pendulum swings back, and when Democrats are in charge again, they'll remember what happened. They'd use that same power to erase Republican policies overnight. Today, Trump wants to end the filibuster to fund the government. Tomorrow, a Democratic president could use that same precedent to federalize gun control or pack the Supreme Court. It's a political Pandora's box, and once it's open, you can't close it again. But let's not lose the thread here. While Washington argues about Senate rules, real people are paying the price. Federal employees have missed paychecks. Families on SNAP are facing empty pantries. And government services from passport renewals to small business loans are frozen. The United States, the richest country in the world, can't feed its own citizens right now because two parties can't agree on a temporary budget. And the president's response is to say, let's go nuclear. This isn't strategy. It's desperation wrapped in political theater. If this sounds familiar, it's because we have seen this movie before. Trump thrives on chaos. He creates a crisis, then positions himself as the only one who can end it. It's what he did with the border wall shutdown. It's what he did with tariffs. It's what he did with NATO. Every time it's the same play. Escalate, polarize, dominate the headlines. And here's the thing. It works because the longer the government stays closed, the more the public starts blaming everyone. And that both sides' frustration, that's exactly where Trump's populism grows. But zoom out for a second. What's happening here isn't just another shutdown. It's part of a long-term erosion of norms, the unwritten rules that keep democracy functional. The filibuster isn't perfect, it's been abused plenty, but it exists for a reason to slow down power, to force conversation, to make sure 51 senators can't unilaterally decide the fate of 330 million people. When Trump calls for ending it, he's not just asking for efficiency, he's asking for unchecked power. And once that line is crossed, it doesn't matter who is in charge, left or right, the system starts breaking down from within. By the way, while this crisis unfolds, guess where most senators are right now? They have left Washington. By Friday morning, most lawmakers had gone home for the weekend. No deal, no talks, no urgency. So while 40 million Americans face losing food aid, while federal workers scramble to pay rent, the people responsible for fixing this are already on vacation. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about Washington, I don't know what does. Here's the bottom line. This fight over the filibuster isn't about one shutdown. It's about whether the U.S. Senate still believes in limits to power. Because once that rule is gone, every future president will be tempted to rule by majority muscle, not consensus, not compromise. And that's how democracy slides, not in one big moment, but in a series of small, necessary exceptions. Today it's about ending a shutdown. Tomorrow it's about ending democracy's last safety net. So when you hear the words nuclear option, don't just think about a Senate rule. Think about what happens when power stops listening to principle. Because in Washington right now, it's not the government that's shut down, it's accountability. If you found this breakdown useful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Should the filibuster stay, or is it time to finally kill it? Because one thing's clear, America's not just running out of money, it's running out of patience.